Hi, wrestling fans. Thanks for clicking today's Dreaded Heroes Report. Hall of Famer Kevin Von Erich and his sons Marshall and Ross are going to be attending TNA's June 15th Slammiversary pay-per-view from Dallas, Texas. Why is that news? Well, Marshall and Ross is going to be wrestling as a tag team. And the brothers have been working for Pro Wrestling Noah and will get the chance to wrestle in front of their father on Father's Day. They're also going to be appearing at the Fan Fest that weekend. And you know, I can't get any information out of what happened to Undertaker after, his match at WrestleMania 30. I know he got taken to the ambulance, he got taken to the hospital, Vince went with him, and then that was been pretty much it. But it says nothing about how he is currently and why he went that night. Undertaker's still pretty banged up from his match with Brock at 30. And there's still no indication that Taker won't be back for next year's WrestleMania 31. There's higher-ups in WWE who believe that Vince didn't make the decision for Undertaker to lose at the last minute. That they just waited to the last minute to let anybody know. Because people has been known to text certain people to hotlines, let people know what's going to happen ahead of time. And there's still a lot of internal belief that Taker losing was still the wrong call. I kind of do too, except Taker just didn't look good when he got into the ring. The spirit, the emotion, and all that just wasn't there. Of course, maybe that was all bothering him about losing the streak. That could have been a circumstance. Anyway, there are people in WWE, believe it or not, who want to hire Christian as a producer agent when his contract as a wrestler expires. Within WWE, there's talk that even for the most recent concussion is that Christian's in-ring career is expected to be phased down throughout this year. And, they've not phased him completely out, as far as I know, this year. And WWE's planning on turning Tyson Kidd into a masked wrestler, and he's reportedly already has the mask designed by the man who makes Lucha Libre masks. And the feeling is that Kidd, is the talented wrestler, but they've marginalized him, the Tyson Kidd character, for so long a time that there's nothing they can do with him past the preliminary level. So he can't even get into mid-card, because as soon as he gets into the ring, it's horrible, but we know he's going to lose. So they've just kicked him so bad. So anyway, now they're going to put him under mask. Maybe he can start over again like a Sin Cara. Sin Cara maybe is a mid-card, I guess. Still loses a lot. And as noted before, Batista is likely going to be finishing up with WWE for the time being anyway, at next week's Raw, which is in Indianapolis. And at one point, WWE wanted Batista to put over Roman Reigns in a singles match before leaving on television. I don't know whether that's going to happen or not. Of course, he could lose the match to Roman, and then he beat up Roman at the end of it, then leave. There's been that way to save his face for him, Anyway, there's been a lot, at least some talk within WWE about using, believe it or not, a 4 horsewomen in some kind of an angle at this year's SummerSlam pay-per-view. And of course, there's 4 women down in, one of them's an MMA star, Rousey. And Natalya recently worked out with the group. There's 3 other women. Rey Mysterio's contract with WWE has, believe it or not, expired a few weeks ago. But Rey got word that Vince McMahon renewed it for another year. Well, happy birthday. Even though Vince had, there was no option on there for the 1-year contract. But however, WWE contracts they're allowed to be frozen in the event of an injury. But why they renew it? WWE has the feeling that Rey missed so many times and so much time during the last contract due to injuries that he owes them time. In other words, he owes them time on the TV, at events, and, somewhere. They just need to get their money's worth out of him, so they give him more money. Anyway, it's renewed through May 2015 on that basis. And Rey has a very strong downside, so he will make good money whether he's used often on TV or not. Of course, they're still going to be selling his merchandise in the back, you know that. And by the way, Rey's out of action right now because he's got a hand injury. And I broke this fingernail the other day, and I haven't been able to do anything. I told the wife I just can't do it. Anyway, here's a full content, not the full content, I'm not going to read you all that. There's content listing for WWE's Ladies and Gentlemen, My Name is Paul Heyman. DVD, Blu-ray coming out in August. And DVD, Wrestling DVD News sent this. I just not going to tell you what disc 1 is. Of course, it's usually the biography or whatever. Starts out, first chapter is Survivor. Second chapter is Photographer. All right, and goes on. Promoter, Manager, Memphis, AWA, WCW, ECW, Team Mentality, Rebels, and then Commentator. Now, on the writer side, he started with OVW and new ECW, Businessman, Father, Returned to WWE, and Embracing the Moment. That's just disc 1. All right, Scott Hall's son, Cody Hall, turns 23 years old on May 31st and will be wrestling at the World Extreme Wrestling C4's let's see, something SmackDown event in Salisbury, Philadelphia. Pennsylvania. Scott's going to be acting as Cody's manager. Sean Waltman, Carlito, and others are going to be appearing. It's Showdown. I've never heard of it. Raja Guri of Wrestling Inc. reports that WWE is working on a new Randy Savage DVD and is set to be featuring a documentary on Savage's future. Unlike the WWE previous Macho Man DVD, several talent have been already interviewed for the piece. And happy birthday to ECW World Champion Steve Corino, 41 years old, two-time WWF Hardcore Champion. Remember old Pete Gas? Pete Gas, 44, and the last WWE Cruiserweight Champion Hornswoggle, 28, former WWE and World Tag Team Champion Brian Kendricks, 35 years old, and one-time WWF Tag Team Champion Samu, 51. All right, this is Thursday. Tomorrow, let me know what your comments and who do you think is going to be winning on Payback Sunday. Thanks for clicking, you guys. I got to go.